Here we go. Just start to bring your attention first to your breath. Closing your eyes if that's available to you. Lowering the shoulders away from the ears. And just notice the sensations in your physical body. Possibly noticing any areas of tension. And that's okay. We're not going to label it, give it a value of good or bad. It just is. But maybe we will use that information as we move through the sequence and honor what your body is telling you. Backing off when the breath and the sensations in the body ask you to back off. And maybe going a little bit deeper into a challenge when the breath is indicating that that's available today. Allow the belly to soften so that as you take the next full lengthened inhale, the lungs can fill to capacity. And then as you take the full, complete exhale to follow that, maybe the belly just pulls gently into the spine at the end of the exhale. And then repeat that into the next inhale, softening the belly, releasing the shoulders. And then exhale, letting the ribs knit back together. Keep going at your pace. Really allow your tension to drop into your body. Feel the breath. And let it quiet and calm the mind. Releasing the distracting thoughts, knowing that they'll be there when we're done, but giving this time to your body and mind to have a moment to heal. Taking about 2 to 3 more rounds of your complete full inhales and complete exhales. Not rushing them. And as you finish your final exhale, you can continue to move forward with your eyes closed if you prefer, or just inhale to gently blink the eyes open. And then removing the hands from the legs, you're going to inhale and reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower the left hand down towards the left hip. Inhale to reach the right arm up and then over into a gentle side bend. Breathing into the spaces along the side of the right side of the body. On your next natural inhale, allowing that left arm to reach back up to meet the right, and then exhaling, right hand down to the right hip, left hand up to the ceiling first, and then exhale into the side bend. Holding just for one breath. And then inhale, both hands up together. Exhale, you're going to lower the right hand over towards the left knee. Left hand can come to the left hip or all the way back behind the tail as you look over the left shoulder. Breathe here for about 2 to 3 breaths, and as you do, think about using the right hand as leverage against the left thigh to open up across the back of that shoulder. Last breath here. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale, left hand over to the right side, right hand over to the right hip or all the way back behind to the spine. Gaze over that right shoulder and think about really pressing into the leg to open up on the left shoulder this time. Last breath here. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, you're going to lower the hands down to the floor in front of you. And then just wiggle the fingers forward, walk them forward, keeping the spine lengthened to start until you reach a comfortable sensation in the hips and low back. And then on your next natural exhale, you're going to just gently lower the head down and come into a seated forward fold. Inhale to lift the gaze to the fingers. Start to walk the hands back towards the legs. As you exhale, hands come back around, fingertips pointing towards your seat. Pulling the elbows together behind you, really lift the sternum to the ceiling. And you can either hold here, or perhaps you just roll back slightly on your sits bones and you allow the legs with the feet crossed to just hover in front of you. And then you're going to uncross, recross the legs the other way, and come right back up into seated. Inhale to reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to lower the right hand to the right hip. Reach the left hand up and then over into your side bend. Just hold for one breath. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend this time. Right hand coming over to the left. Hold for one breath. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then exhale, this time you're going to take that twist first to the right. Hold just for one breath this time. And then inhale, reach up. Twist over to the other side. Take that full, complete inhale and exhale round. And then inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, hands come down in front of you. You can hold there, or you can start to walk those hands forward again. Maybe notice that on this side with the opposite leg crossed in front that it feels differently and you either need to back off more than what you did the first time, or you can go a little further. And then as you get into that comfortable sensation, you're going to just exhale to lower the head down towards the floor. Inhale, now lift the gaze, walk the hands back. Exhale, fingertips come back behind you, elbows pull together, sternum lifts. You can stay there with that baby back extension, or you can float, and this time the opposite foot is crossed, and you're in a modified boat with the chest lifted. And then exhale, you're going to release that cross, recross back to the original. Inhale to reach that right arm up to the ceiling, keeping the left hand next to the hip. You're going to just cross the right hand over to the left ear. And gently start to tilt the right ear over to the right shoulder. You're not pulling on the head. This is just a real gentle rest of the hand. In fact, maybe you barely even feel the hand touching the ear. Last breath here. And then inhale, reach that arm up. Let the left hand meet it. And then exhale, right hand comes down to the right hip. And this time, you're going to gently bring the left fingertips over to the right ear as you slowly, gently lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Keep breathing here. Now inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you're going to bring your hands in front of you as you swing the legs around to the side and come into all fours. Make nice wide starfish with your fingers, and then plug the base knuckle of each finger into the floor. Tuck the toes in, engage the belly button towards the spine. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, lift the hips, extend the legs long, and come into an upside down letter V. So your first downward dog shape of the afternoon. Allowing those shoulder blades to come down towards the back waist, shoulders out of the ears, And your heels are reaching towards the floor, but not necessarily touching, keeping most of the weight in the knuckles at the base of each finger to avoid strain on the wrist. Hold it here. Take one more full, complete cycle of breath. And then you're going to inhale, lift your gaze towards your hands, and then step or walk your feet forward so that the toes land behind the palms into your first forward fold. Softening the knees as much as you need to, let the head hang heavy. And then inhale, bring the hands to the shins, extend the spine long into half forward fold. And exhale, back down. Soften the knees. Inhale, reach the arms, lift the torso, and extend up to the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to cactus the arms, lift the sternum to the ceiling, and come into a baby back bend. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, back into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Extend, soften the knees a lot. Exhale to lower the hands all the way to the floor, and then step the feet all the way back behind you so your body is in a straight line from your heels to the crown of your head. If you choose, please take the option of lowering the knees to the floor in a modified plank. That works if your body is asking for it. If full plank is your choice for today, think about pushing the floor away with your hands so that you're essentially rounding across the upper back, pulling the energy out past the heels, and then engaging the quadricep muscles to the thighs. Hold here for one more breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend the elbows, squeeze them into the rib cage, lower all the way down to the floor, and then inhale up into your version of back extension. Maybe you keep it low for the first one in a baby cobra. Maybe you extend the arms up into high cobra. Maybe you press into the top of the feet and let the thighs float coming into upward facing dog. Last inhale here. And then exhale, you're coming right back into that downward dog, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, extending the arms long. Hold here for about 2 breaths. Full, complete inhale. Really pull the air in, and then exhale to release it all. Inhale to lift the gaze to the hands. You can step, walk, or if you choose, take a bend into the knee. Keep the hips lifted and hop up to the top of the mat. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale to press the hands into the shins, extend the spine in half forward fold. Exhale and release the torso down. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the torso, raise the arms, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, bend the elbows, take that baby back bend. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep bend in the knees, hands to the floor. And then this time you can step or walk back, or if you choose, keeping the hips lifted, inhale and hop to the back. Lowering the knees down into a modified plank if you choose, or keeping them lifted in full plank. Either way, you're thinking about elbow creases facing each other, strong through the upper back. Core is engaged with the belly button towards the spine. Gaze is at where the mat meets the floor. Last breath here, keeping those thighs engaged. And then exhale, squeeze the elbows in, lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, your version of back extension. Low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Taking about 2 to 3 full complete inhales and exhales here. And then on your next natural inhale, lift the gaze to the hand, and you're going to step your right foot all the way forward so that the right foot comes up where the right hand was. You are welcome to literally pick up that foot and ankle and move it there. Once you're there, square your shoulders and square your pelvis so that they are both facing the mat. Pressing into the ball of the back foot, you're going to inhale, lift the torso, and you can keep the hands right at the hips with that front knee bent, sternum lifted, crown of the head to the ceiling. Or you can inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, gaze follows the thumbs if that's comfortable in your neck. Holding here, and next option is to interlace the fingers, all but the pointer finger, and reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Second option, you can stay right here, or you can exhale to lower the hands back down to the hips as we tap the back knee down on the exhale, inhale to lift. Exhale and tap, inhale and lift. Last one, tap, inhale and lift. Hold it there, extend the front leg long, and pivot your back foot so that it turns out at about, pointing at about 10 or 11 o'clock. Extend the arms long, pull the shoulders out of the ears, and then think about engaging that bottom rib to touch the top of the pelvis to try and help those ribs to stay tucked down and engaged rather than really allowing the ribs to float out, pop up, which isn't supportive of the low back. Keeping that front leg long and extended, you're going to take an inhale here to prepare, and then exhale, start to trace the fingers along the ceiling all the way down the wall in front of you until they land where they naturally land on your leg, with the crown of your head extended, reaching long. Hold here for about 2 breaths. If it's available to you, possibly the fingers are even coming, those pointer fingers are coming between the big toe and the second toe. Last inhale, complete exhale, and then we're going to add movement to this. You're welcome to stay here if you choose, otherwise you're going to inhale, draw the hands up and extend and lift. Exhale, back down into your pyramid. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw it down. Last one, inhale and lift. Exhale, release the hands to the hips. Come to the ball of the back foot. Bringing all of the weight into the front foot, you're going to inhale and press off the back foot. Let that back heel float up behind you, and then the hands can either stay at the hips or you can point the fingers down towards the floor. Flex the back foot. Think about pulling the knees and engaging the inner thighs together. And you're welcome to stay here, or you can take that left hand, bring it back behind, and grasp either the inner arch or the outer arch of that back foot. Think about lengthening the tail towards the floor as you reach the crown towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, or you can inhale to lift the right arm to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, press the left foot into the left hand as the left hand pulls into the foot, and start to teeter-totter forward into King Dancer. Take 2 more full breaths here. Find your gaze point to help your balance. Nice. Inhale, float back up. Release the foot reach the left arm long, and then step the left foot all the way back towards the back of your mat, and let the foot land at an angle so that it's pointing at about 10 o'clock again. Inhale to reach the gaze up to the ceiling, and then exhale, start to bend into your front knee, so you're coming into a variation of Warrior One. Exhale to lower the hands to the hips. You're going to pivot your chest. You can stay where you are. I'm just turning so that you have a better viewpoint. You can turn your chest so that it is now facing open towards, a little bit towards that left hip. Take the right forearm, lower it down to the right thigh. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. You can stay there, or you can reach that left arm long over the ear, an extended side angle variation. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, pressing into that front foot. You're going to float the torso up, lowering that left hand down to the left thigh, reaching the right arm up to the ceiling. Gaze follows the right hand. Hold here in variation of Reverse Warrior. Now we're going to add that flow in here. You're welcome to stay in either of the two poses, or you're going to exhale, lower into extended side angle. Inhale, reach up into Reverse Warrior. 2 more times. Exhale, lower down and extend. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale and extend. Nice. Now extend that front leg long. Bring the hands to the hips. And from here, you are going to pivot so you're facing the long edge of the mat. And if you need to flip yourself around so you can actually see your device, do so right now. You're going to have the toes pointing out at about the corners of the mat if you're on a mat. And then you're going to start to bend into your knees. Now, how far apart your feet are is going to be determined by what is comfortable in your pelvis, your hamstrings, and your low back when you start to bend down into the squat. You're attempting to keep the chest lifted. You're attempting to keep the tailbone reaching down towards the floor. And then you lower down into that squat as much as is appropriate for you. Inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, interlace the fingers, and then just cup them behind the head. You're welcome to stay right here, or you can take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale, right elbow towards the right thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left elbow towards the left thigh. Inhale and lift. 2 more times, each side. Right, inhale and up. Exhale, left. Inhale and up. Last one. Right. Inhale. Left. And up. Release the hands to the hips. Inhale, extend the legs long. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, lowering down, letting that head hang. And knees can be softened. You don't want them locked out. If you need a significant bend to support your low back, feel free to do so. And then from here, the hands can go on the thighs, outer calf, maybe the hands come down to the ankle, and then you just let that head hang heavy. Let all the tension release. Hold here for about 3 more breaths to recover. Nice. Softening into those knees if they're not already. Bring the hands back up to the hips. Inhale, lift the torso, bring the head up towards the ceiling. You're going to pivot your left foot so that it is parallel, the outer edge of the left foot is parallel to the short end of the mat. And then pivot your right foot so that the right toes are pointing straight at the opposite end of the mat. Inhale to lift the arms up to the shoulders. Exhale, you're going to shift the left hip towards the left wrist as you reach the right arm long out in front of you. And then as you inhale again, you're going to teeter-totter, this time coming into extended side angle, and breathe here. Gaze is either up towards that left hand with the left thumb over the mouth, or gaze can be down at the right hand if that's better for your neck. Last breath here. Soften into that front knee. And then maybe toe heel the back foot in just a couple inches. You're going to press into that front foot and on an inhale, push off the back foot, lowering the right fingertips about 6 inches in front of the right foot, letting that left leg float up so that the left foot is possibly as high as the left hip. Your gaze can be right down at that right hand or at a spot that's not moving on the floor. If you feel like your balance is really solid, you can bring your gaze up to look at your left thumb. Hold here for last 2 breaths. Nice, and then as you exhale, you're going to lower that left foot to meet the right foot at the top of your mat, and you exhale into forward fold. Hold there, and then inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the torso, extend up, and then exhale as you cactus the arms, lift the sternum, extend your back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften the knees, take the hands down to the mat, and then step, walk, or you can take that hop towards the back of your mat. You're welcome to lower the knees into modified plank, or stay in full plank, and then hold the plank for about 3 full breaths, thinking about each muscle group that you can engage and where you are sending your energy to help support your spine and lengthen the crown of the head to the tail. Take an inhale here. Exhale, shift down into chaturanga. Inhale, your version of a back extension. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale to bring your gaze to your hands, and then step the left foot all the way forward where the left hand was. Keeping the back toes tucked into the mat, you're going to inhale, lift up, maybe the hands come to the hips, and extend that sternum to the wall in front of you. Back leg is lengthened, energy pressing out through the heel. Front leg, knee is bent. If you choose, you can inhale, reach the arms up. Gaze follows if that's comfortable for your neck. You're welcome to continue from here, or you can lower those hands back down to the hips. We're going to bring in that movement with your breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, tap the right knee down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and tap. Inhale and lift. Last one. Tap and lift. And then lower the hands down. Extend that front leg. And the back foot comes out and points at about 2 o'clock, or maybe between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Hips are shifting towards the top edge of your mat. And you can keep your hands there or inhale. Interlace the fingers. And this time, think about putting the other pinky on top so it feels a little awkward. Pointer fingers reaching towards the ceiling. Front leg is extended. You're welcome to hold here or take an inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, slowly start to trace the pointer fingers across the ceiling, keeping the ears in between the upper arms, shoulder blades down the back, lower down until your hands land where they land. You're always welcome to take a soft bend into that front leg if the hamstring and lower back are asking for it. And then, if you choose, pointer fingers can come in between the big toe and the second toe as you lower your head so the ears are between the upper arms. As you do that, think about pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Again, you're welcome to stay right here, or you can add that flow in. So pressing into your feet firmly, you can inhale, trace the fingers back up, extend the spine. Exhale, trace them down into pyramid. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Last one, keeping your balance, you're going to inhale and lift. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Coming onto the ball mound of the back foot. Finding a firm foundation in your front foot. Finding a gaze point that's not moving in front of you. You're going to press off that back foot on an inhale and float it up back behind you so that the inner thighs and the knees can connect and support each other. Hands can point straight down to the floor as you lift the crown of the head to the ceiling. Engage the core. You're welcome to hold here. Or if you'd like to try it on this side, you can take either an inner arch or an outer arch grasp of the foot. Inhale, lift the left arm to the ceiling, and then exhale. As you press the foot into the hand, that is what is creating your momentum to tilt the torso forward, pulling the foot in with the hand. Hold here in King Dancer for 2 to 3 breaths. And then inhale, float back up, bring the left hand to the hip, release the grip with the foot, and then step that foot all the way to the back. Again, your toes are pointing out at about 2 o'clock or maybe between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock this time. You're going to just pivot enough so that the hips and the shoulders come open towards your right hip this time. Soften into that front knee and then take the left forearm, place it on the left thigh. Right hand can stay on the hip or you can reach that right hand up to the ceiling or possibly extend that right arm long over the right ear. Extended side angle. Take an inhale, press up, lift the torso, let that right hand float back to the right thigh, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. If it's comfortable in your neck, your gaze is on that left hand, or if you prefer, gaze is at the right ankle or right hand, keeping that nice deep bend in the front knee. You can choose one of these two poses, or you can flow in between the two. So you're going to take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale, extended side angle. Inhale and lift, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Last time, inhale and lift. Exhale, extend. And then inhale and lift. And extend that front leg. Hands to the hips. And pivot so that you're facing the long edge of the mat. And then again, depending on how you have your mat set up, if you need to, you can flip around and face the other direction. So now, again, your toes are straight out to the side. You're going to soften into the knees, and maybe again, you adjust your feet as you need to, keeping the sternum lifted, crown of the head reaching up as your seat moves down as deeply as appropriate for today. Try to bring the weight out of the toes so you can actually wiggle and lift your toes up as the heels press into the ground, pushing the energy into the ground as you taking energy up and lifting the arms up and extend. Nice. And then from here, you're going to inhale, extend the legs up, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to bend back into the knees, take the arms down, swoop it up, and then inhale and lift back up. So this is called sunflower breath. So you're exhaling, grabbing up a bunch of sunflowers, inhaling, reaching up. Do that 2 more times. Exhale, scoop it up, inhale and lift. Last one. And then inhale and lift. Nice. Lower those hands back down, maybe to the hips. You're going to take that right foot, outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Left foot points out to the left edge, or to the short edge, I should say. And then think about your hips trying to be parallel to the long edge of your mat. Inhale, float the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, shift the right hip back towards the right wrist. Extend that left leg or left arm long. And then as you teeter-totter forward, the right hand comes up with the right thumb over the mouth. Left hand lands either on the thigh, the shin, or maybe the ankle or floor. Extended triangle. Nice, full, complete inhales and exhales here. Nice. You're going to lower the right hand to the right hip. Gaze comes down to the left toes. And then again, toe heel that right foot in as much as is comfortable for you. You're going to float that left hand down so that it's about 6 to 8 inches in front of the left foot. Coming into half moon, you can keep your right hand where it is, or you can extend that right hand up to the ceiling. All the energy is pressing out through that right heel. Really flex the right foot, maybe even flexing that right foot so much that it floats the left fingertips up off the ground. Hold for the last 2 breaths. Nice. And then exhale, gently lower it down, step together at the short edge of your mat. Lower the head down, exhale into forward fold. Inhale, extend, half lift, exhale and fold. And then soften into the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift, and then exhale into your back extension. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, deep bend in the knees. Hands come down. You can step, walk, or hop back into your plank or lower down into modified plank. Nice. Hold here. Engage the quads to the femur. Think about how much the legs can support this pose so it's not all in your arms. Nice full inhale here. And then exhale. Chaturanga, lower down, all the way to the mat. Rest the belly. Gaze is directly underneath you. And your toes are pointing long. Right now, I have my hands under my shoulders. My elbows are up like chicken wings and my shoulders are pulling down away from my ears. This is a version of a back extension, and you're welcome to stay right here. The next option is to walk those legs together so that you are squeezing feet together, calves together, knees together, inner thighs squeezing together. You can stay right there, or you can flex the feet, pressing the toes into the floor as you pull the heels back behind you, and maybe another inch lift in your back extension. Take another breath here, and then exhale. Now, you can repeat any of those that we just tried, or next option is you're going to float the feet up off the floor, flexing the feet. You can do one arm at a time, or you can release both hands and extend the hands along your thighs. You're welcome to stay right here, or either one hand or both hands are going to reach back for the fronts of your ankles. Now, you're more than welcome to just try one and then we'll go over to the other side, or to just stay where you are with your hands along the thighs and not grasp the ankles. Whichever variation you are in, you are going to take an inhale. If you have your ankle or both ankles, you're going to press the shins away from you as you pull the hands into the ankles. Breathe here, maybe even rocking forward and back on your belly just a little bit. Nice. Exhale, gently lower, slowly release the grip. Let those feet come down, and then lower one cheek to the floor. Taking 2 to 3 recovery breaths here, maybe even closing the eyes. And then, to begin, you're going to inhale, lift the head so that the gaze comes directly underneath you. Now, for this next round, if you want to stay right where you were with just that low cobra, that's totally fine. If you want to use any of the different toe variations, that's fine. Or you can float the feet up, heels up towards, or bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling. And if you just did one hand last time, you're going to do the opposite side this time. If you want to keep your hands along your thighs, that's what you do. If you would like to do one more variation, if you had both ankles last time, and try one more back extension, you're going to grasp both ankles. Inhale, pull the ankles away from you as you lift up from the sternum, shoulders away from the ears, and then breathe, maybe even rocking on the inhale and exhale. Nice. Exhale, gently lower, slowly release, bring the hands forward, lower the legs, and this time the opposite cheek lowers to the floor. 2 to 3 recovery breaths here. Nice full breaths, filling the belly, feeling it move against the floor as you fill the lungs. And then exhale, feeling that low back lower. Last breath here. Nice. And then inhale to bring those hands directly under the shoulders. Tuck the toes into the floor, and then you're going to push the floor away from you as you come up, drawing the knees underneath you. And then turning around so that you can come to a comfortable seated position. Wherever you land, just coming into a comfortable seated pose to start with, lowering the shoulders out of the ears, lifting the crown of the head to the ceiling, and breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Center your attention back into your body. Pay attention to any messages that your body might be telling you now. Notice the quality of your breath and how it may have changed from the beginning of the sequence. On your next natural inhale, you're going to blink the eyes open. And keeping that left foot tucked in, you're going to extend the right leg long. And then, keeping that left foot close to the right leg, you're going to bring the left knee up to the ceiling. Now, your left foot can be as close to your seat as is comfortable for your knee and low back. So that might be with the foot along the inner thigh of the right leg. Maybe the foot is out further, as far away as the calf. That's fine, whatever is available to you today. You're going to take an left hand on the front of the shin, and then the right hand is going to land anywhere along that left arm. So maybe it's just hand on hand. Maybe that right hand comes all the way over to the left elbow as you come into a moderate twist over to the left thigh. What we're attempting to do here is pull that left thigh into the belly so that as you take full, extended, and lengthened inhales, you can feel the belly press against the thigh. So essentially getting a mini massage for your internal organs here. Hold for one more full, complete inhale and exhale. Nice. Now, you're going to release that left hand. Lower the left hand over towards the left hip or all the way back behind you. And you can hold onto that left thigh again, either with the hand on the shin or maybe the elbow is on the shin. And now do a little bit deeper twist over to the left. Okay, if you would like to stay right with what you have going on, that's fine. Next variation, you're going to take that right leg and you're going to tuck it in so that the right leg comes behind, or the right ankle, I should say, comes behind the left heel. You don't have to do it this way. If this is not good for that knee angle or the hip, keep the leg extended out. And then inhale to reach that right arm up and see if the upper arm or the elbow wants to come on the outside of that left shoulder. As you reach for the right toes, left hand again comes back behind you, so you are in a half bind on your twist. If this is just not available to you and your breath is telling you that it's not a good pose today, you can extend that leg long and just come back into the other variation. Last 2 breaths here. On your next natural exhale, you're going to release whichever version of twist you are in. Come back to center. This time, your right leg is going to slide out. Lengthen both legs long. Feet are flexed. Toes straight up to the ceiling. And then your hands are right alongside your hips, or maybe even an inch or 2 in front of your hips. Arms extended up, sternum lifted, crown of the head to the ceiling, and then inhale, flex the feet so much that the heels float off. So the whole front side of the thighs are firmly engaged, maybe even fiery. Core is helping to pull the toes and heels up, lifting and lengthening the spine. Nice. Exhale and release. I'm going to bring that right leg up so that the knee is up to the ceiling. Right foot lands where right foot lands along the inside of the left leg. Right hand on the front of the shin, left hand coming around, and maybe hand on hand, maybe hand all the way over to the elbow as you do just a mini twist over to the right. Mostly twisting enough so that you can feel the breath. Feel the belly moving against the thigh. Excellent. Staying right here if this is what's best for you. Or, next variation, You're going to take it just a little bit deeper. You're going to release that right hand, bring it back around behind you, and this time go a little bit deeper into your twist. Gaze coming over that right shoulder. If you'd like to come into the final variation, you're going to move that right foot enough so that you can bring the left foot, slide it in so that the left ankle is behind the right heel. You're going to bring that right arm, or left arm, excuse me, inhale, lift it up, and then reach it over. Maybe the left hand comes to the outside of that right thigh, and you're reaching for the left toes, right arm back behind you, and a little bit deeper twist. Let the mind stay calm. Let the breath be the focus. Nice. On your next natural exhale, you're going to release whichever version you're in and come all the way back around towards center. Bringing both legs out in front of you. Finding a position where you have enough space to keep your feet, probably about 12 to 18 inches away from your seat. Inhale, lift the sternum, crown of the head reaching up. Now you have a grip either on the front of your shins or back of your thighs. And right now, maybe you are in a position where you can actually feel the thighs and the belly touching. If you want to stay right here, perfectly fine. If you choose, you can just start to tilt the torso away from the thighs, still keeping the spine lengthened. So I am tilting, using my hips as a hinge, just like a door hinge, rather than slumping back into it and letting my spine round. There's a big difference. So keeping the spine lengthened, using the hips as your hinge. You can float the toes. You can float the heels. You can maybe even bring the heels up to about knee height. Maybe you release the hands. And then you breathe here. Now, if you choose, you can go through a lot of the same movements that we're going to be doing from boat pose from right here. I'm going to cue them first from boat pose. First of all, you're going to extend that right leg long. Hold on to the back of the left leg. You can stay here. Or you can reach the right hand over to the left foot, keeping the right leg long. Maybe you release that left hand. Maybe the left hand even reaches out back behind you as you extend your left leg as much as it wants to. Maybe that means extending all the way up. Maybe it keeps a slight bend in the knee. Holding your balance right on your sits bones for 2 more breaths. Lovely. Now exhale, float the right foot back down, lower the left foot to the floor. Starting back right from where we came from in boat pose. Again, if you don't want to move any further from here, perfectly fine. Otherwise, hands are back behind the thighs. You start to tilt the torso away, float the toes, float the heels. Maybe the heels come up knee height. And then maybe you extend that left leg long. Left hand comes to the right foot. Right hand releases and looks back. You're looking back at that right thumb as it reaches back behind the shoulder. And then right leg extends out as much as it chooses to. Balancing here on your sits bones. Last full breath. Excellent. Gaze comes back to front. Lower the left foot down. Lower the right foot down. And then both feet on the floor. Making sure you have enough space behind you. You can either use the backs of your legs as leverage, or you can extend the arms long and start to lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Using that last little bit to really engage the core. Excellent. Lower the hands down. Getting into a comfortable position on your back with the feet on the floor, knees up to the ceiling. Taking a full inhale here, and then exhale. Inhale, you're going to pull the knees in towards the chest. Hands can be behind the thighs or fronts of the shins. Maybe you rock side to side. And then feet are flexed. On an inhale, you're going to extend the legs long, press the bottoms of the feet towards the ceiling. Hold here and breathe, legs up the wall. If you choose, you're welcome to stay right here, or you can inhale, lift your hands directly up from your shoulders. So the legs are stacked right over the hips, arms are stacked right over the shoulders, back of the head is resting on the floor. You're welcome to stay here, or next variation, you're going to inhale, lift the shoulders so the chin is actually just slightly tucking in towards the chest as the head comes up, and then you're just going to hold here and breathe. Fingertips reaching straight up to the ceiling, feet are firmly flexed, legs are holding that ceiling off of you. It's keeping the ceiling from falling on you for the last 2 breaths. And then exhale, lower the head back down to the floor, grab behind the thighs, bend the knees, and start to pull the knees towards the outer side of your torso. So the knees are coming towards the armpit, doesn't mean it's going to hit there, and the inner thighs are hugging the side of the rib cage. Bottoms of the feet are still flexed up towards facing the ceiling. Happy baby, and maybe even just gently rocking side to side, massaging that low back. Slow the movement. Exhale to release the hands, pull the knees in towards the chest, give them a hug, and then gently and slowly release the feet down to the floor. Extending the legs long, letting the toes fall open, ankles released, and taking up space with the legs so that there's room for the hips to fall open to the side, the thigh bones in the hips to fall open to the side. Pull those shoulder blades away from the ears, under the low back or under the upper back. Let the arms fall open away from the side body. Upper arm bones facing the ceiling. And then perhaps pivoting from the elbow to lower the hands to the floor for more centering and grounding. Eyes float closed. And then hold the body still, not clenching. The body is relaxed. Maybe even doing a quick body scan to just confirm that you're not holding tension in the feet or the ankles, the calves or the knees. Thighs and hips are relaxed. Abdomen and low back are soft. Melting the upper back and the shoulders into the floor. Chest and neck are relaxed to invite long, full, complete breaths. No tension in the fingers or the wrists. Forearms and upper arms melting into the floor. checking that the muscles of the skull and the face are soft and relaxed. Releasing the tongue so that the jaw is relaxed. And breathe here. Taking about 2 more full, complete inhales and exhales. And then when you are ready, inhale, waking the body with a full body stretch, lengthening the arms above the head, stretching the legs long, and then exhale to roll over to the side using the upper arm as a pillow. When you are ready, press the floor away on an inhale, come back up to seated. Finding a comfortable position, bringing the hands together, thumbs together. Engage the thumbs into that vagus nerve cluster at the sternum. Inhale here to blink the eyes open. Exhale to lower the chin, gaze at the fingers, and namaste. Lovely job. Thank you so much for being with us.